Good day, everyone, and to our panelists. This is our final research study entitled The Teacher Competence and Online Student Engagement in the New Educational Landscape. Rationale: a large proportion of students are disengaged to go to school right now because of the pandemic. After several months of remote learning, some school officials have reported that many students have become more passive, have less sense of social belonging, and have felt disengaged from their learning, according to TUT 2021. Teacher competence has a strong impact on the online student engagement in the educational landscape, in which the students' engagement described as the tendency to be emotionally, cognitively, and behaviorally that involved in teaching competence. Further, we define student engagement as a constructivist approach to teaching and learning that less sage on the stage and more learning by doing. Research objectives: the purpose of the study was to determine which domain of teacher competence significantly influenced the online student engagement in the new educational landscape. Typically, the study has the following objectives. First, to describe the level of teacher competence in terms of evaluation of teaching performance, online collaboration, online social interaction, and online teaching. Second, is to assess the level of online student engagement in the new educational landscape in terms of emotional engagement, cognitive engagement, and behavioral engagement. The third one is to find out the significant relationship between teacher competence and online student engagement in the new educational landscape. Fourth one is to determine which domain of teacher competence best influenced online student engagement in the new educational landscape. Theoretical framework. The theory provides the importance of student engagement prior to the school entry on the online setting that develops their skills, attitudes, and behaviors. Studies that utilize new insights from personality psychology to explain the significance of diverse patterns of instructors' personality traits in educational endeavors in a more complex manner, according to Diraad and Skoenberg in 1998, that fall into a distinct field of study. The primary learning theories, particularly cognitive theory and social constructivism, began to converge in the latter half of the 20th century. Lavie in 1991 and Wenger in 1998, for example, advocate for community of practice and situated learning. Despite the differences between online and face-to-face students, a number of characteristics have been identified that encourage student engagement in online settings. Many of these issues are addressed in Garrison, Anderson, and Archer's in 1999 Community of Inquiry model, which includes social, cognitive, and teaching presence. Conceptual framework presented in Figure 1 is the conceptual framework showing the variables of the study. The first variable is the teacher competence, with the following indicators: evaluation of teaching performance, online collaboration, and online social interaction, and online teaching. On the other hand, the second variable is online student engagement, with the three indicators: the emotional engagement, cognitive engagement, and behavioral engagement. Method: research design. From the study, teacher skills have an impact on their values, actions, communication, goals, and practices in the classroom, as well as on professional development and curricular research. Furthermore, the affective aspect is also influenced by the belief formed from the online student engagement, which the level of student engagement is a good measure of the likelihood of a successful learning experience. Population and sample. The study's respondents were second year to fourth year education college students, which is the Bachelor of Secondary Education and the Bachelor of Elementary Education day and evening class in an institution in Davao City during the school year 2021-2022. The education students were chosen as the respondents because they were the ones who can provide useful information to test the hypothesis of the study. Research instrument. The research instruments utilized by the researchers in the gathering of data were adapted from the study of Murcia, Torregrosa, and Padreño in 2015. Fredericks, Blumenfield, and Paris in 2014. The respondents were asked to rate each item along a 5-point scale ranging from 5, which is strongly agree, to 1, strongly disagree. These instruments were submitted to the research advisor for comments and suggestions. These were validated by the experts before the conduct of the survey. Statistical tools. The following statistical tools were used in the analysis of data. Which first, the mean. This was used to determine the level of teacher competence and online student engagement of the respondents. Second is the standard deviation. This was used to provide researchers an indication of how far the individual responses to a question vary or deviate from the mean. Person R. This was utilized to ascertain the significant relationship between teacher competence and online student engagement. And regression, this was used to determine which domain of teacher competence best predicts on online students' engagement. Result and discussion in Table 1. Presented in Table 1 is the level of teacher competence with an overall mean score of 4.13 and a descriptive level of high, which means that these teacher competence are oftentimes manifested by the respondents. These results were obtained from the combined mean scores of the four domains, namely the evaluation of teacher performance with 4.28 or very high, which means always manifested, online social interaction with 4.07 or high, online collaboration with 4.06 or high, and online teaching with 4 or high. This means that the evaluation of teacher performance, online social interaction, online collaboration, and online teaching were oftentimes manifested by the respondents. Looking through the standard deviation with an overall total of 0.53, the respondents' ratings are homogeneous. This indicates that the data are less spread out, signifying that the respondents are clustered around the mean, thus showing a consistent response. Result and discussion in Table 2. Presented in Table 2 is the level of online student engagement with an overall mean score of 4 and thus a descriptive interpretation of high. This means that the items on the online student engagement are often practiced by the respondents. The overall Following the standard deviation with an overall total of 0.52 descriptive level of high, which means that the ratings of the respondents are homogeneous. This indicates that the data are less spread out, signifying that the respondents are clustered around the mean, thus sharing a consistent response. Among the indicators are behavioral engagement with a standard deviation of 0.54, emotional engagement with 0.60, and cognitive engagement with 0.64. Result and discussion in Table 3. Showing in Table 3 is a significant relationship between teacher competence and online student engagement. Teacher competence with the following domains: evaluation of teaching performance, online collaboration, online social interaction, and online teaching. Computed overall R value of 0.585 with a p-value of 0.000, which is less than 0.05, statistically significant considering the domains emotional engagement, cognitive engagement, and behavioral engagement. Based on the preliminary person art test conducted among the indicators of each variable, patient was determined. This means that teacher competence has a moderate relationship to online student engagement. Result and discussion in Table 4. Shown in Table 4 is the significance of influence of teacher competence on online student engagement. The overall p-value is 0.000, which is lower to 0.05 level of significance. This means that teacher competence significantly influenced online student engagement. Looking at the specific domains of the independent variable, online collaboration has a significant value of 0.025, online teaching has a significant value of 0.125, online social interaction obtains a significant value of 0.174, evaluation of teaching performance obtains a significant value of 0.188. Among of the four domains, only one significant influence on the online student engagement, which is the online collaboration. The result confirms the rejection of the null hypothesis. Conclusion research objectives 1 and 2. The level of teacher competence is found to be at a high level. This means that these teacher competencies are oftentimes manifested by the respondents. Meanwhile, the evaluation of teaching performance obtained at a very high level. On the other hand, the online student engagement in the new educational landscape is found to be high, which means that the items in the online student engagement are oftentimes perceived by the respondents. These results was obtained from the gathered mean scores of three indicators, namely the behavioral engagement, emotional engagement, and cognitive engagement, which obtained the mean score. Conclusion research objectives 3 and 4. There is a low or weak significant relationship between teacher competence and online student engagement in the new educational landscape. This result is based from the obtained p-value, which is lower than the level of significance. Or, among the four domains of teacher competence, only online collaboration is significantly influenced to the online student engagement in the new educational landscape will also increase. Station. Administrators may help their faculty and students create a positive learning environment, ensure teachers engage their students in a variety of activities, and provide extra encouragement to help students grow in confidence. Teachers may use the school's resources to teach each objective or select their own activities to meet the needs of the students. Moreover, they communicate with students online to provide assistance. Students may share to people the learning experiences through online classes. They can collaborate questions and clarification in class to contribute and have further class discussions. For use studies using other factors not covered in this study, they may use a variety of criteria to assess faculty online teaching and student effective engagement. Our references, and this is our team, the Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Values Education, third year day class, Lucito S. Magpuso Jr., Mylene A. Dominguez, and yours truly, Jared A. Gordon. That's all, and thank you.